Coming up on Around Town.
You might be surprised to find out why even the cleanest homes attract pests linked to housekeeping issues.
You don't need to have a filthy home in order for them to want to be inside.
What can you do to make an immediate impact on the potential pest problems plaguing your peace of mind? This is Around Town with Town & Country Pest Solutions. General cleanliness is always something that folks strive for, but simply picking up after yourself can play a huge part in protecting your home and workplace from certain pests. Take it from us, we've seen our fair share of hair-raising housekeeping issues and the infestations that follow. But what sort of critters will capitalize on crumbs falling between nooks and crannies, and which spots in your home often go overlooked?
So we get a lot of cockroaches, mice, rats that are attracted to filthy areas. A lot of time it's because they need three things: food, water, and shelter. If you give them a place to hide, they're going to take advantage of it. If you have access to food and water, even more reason for them to take up residence where you don't want them.
A few areas that you're really going to want to focus on that you may not think about is going to be your sink drains. A lot of sludge and stuff will start to build up in the sinks even if you don't realize it, and you may start to notice fly issues, whether it be fruit flies, drain flies, and things like that.
You might find evidence of mice or roaches or any other pest under your refrigerator or stove. We recommend pulling them out. Give it a good sweep and mop. Any crumbs on the ground that you might not think about. If you have a dog bowl, food and water that's accessible for them. Even on a grill with leftover grease that you might not notice that drip onto the ground or into the grease tray. Very attractive for mice or rats to occupy that area.
So the different threats to some of these pests that you might get from housekeeping and clutter: they can cause disease. They poop and pee everywhere that they go, so you're going to be having those excrements and feces in different areas of your home that your kids might be coming in contact with, and that also becomes a health concern.
A lot of the issues that they cause are respiratory related, and you would think you have a cold, but it could be something far more severe from dealing with feces from mice for an extended period of time. When it comes to roaches, they could be a vector for E. coli and salmonella.
Flies just like to land on a lot of nasty stuff, and they're going to be landing on your countertops, on your walls, different areas, again, that your kids, yourself, might be coming in contact with.
Pests don't discriminate. You don't need to have a filthy home in order for them to get inside and want to be inside. However, if you have the opportunity to clean, organize, and remove any clutter, that will reduce their desire to be inside of your home.
Sometimes it just becomes overwhelming to whether it be a homeowner or a resident. In order for us to take care of that unit, we'd have to clear the whole entire thing out. So we've had people move out of units before, just have severe housekeeping, sanitation, and clutter issues. You have mice, roaches, bed bugs just running throughout the whole entire unit. And in order for us to be effective in our treatment, we'll come in, bag everything up, clean everything out, or we can get in there and we can apply proper treatment to take care of the issue.
Our goal is to keep them out of your home. We start out every single one of our services with a thorough inspection. We want to know what the problem is, how bad it is, and how they're getting in. We have TCPS cameras, which we'll install those, a 24-hour monitoring system, and that helps us identify with 100% clarity exactly what is getting in, when they're coming in, how frequently they're coming in, and that'll help us come up with a game plan to eradicate the issue.
So hopefully these little tips helped, and if you get anything out of it, keep your house clean and neat, and hopefully you're not going to have to deal with any of that, whether you're being proactive or reactive. If you have any questions, give us a call. We'd be more than happy to answer any of those for you.
Even if you think your space is squeaky clean, you might find out that squeaking is from a family of mice nesting underneath your stove. Stay vigilant in your housekeeping efforts, and if the situation calls for it, you can expect the most honest and effective pest solutions from the pros at Town & Country. If you like this episode, check out the time we pressure washed an 11-story garbage chute in a high-rise apartment building.
As always, I'm Matt Miller, and we'll catch you at the next job.